Okay, it's session number 6 of our 10-week journey to strong side splits, and I'm really glad to have you back again. Today we're adding one more rep to each of our stretching exercises to help make us stronger at our maximum range of motion. So that means we're doing 15 reps in each of our stretching exercises. Let's get straight into it. It's really great to have you back again. You can put on some music if you like, and we'll start our strong side split session with 30 squats to warm up our biggest muscle groups, our quads and glutes. And as always, I always keep in mind that there are very diverse body types involved in this program. I mean, everyone is different. You might be older like me, or younger, male, female, taller, it doesn't matter. You still need to pace yourself through these sessions in a way that feels safe and comfortable for you. And starting now in these warm-ups. Okay, so start slow and increase your speed and range of motion only when you feel you can. And then when you finish your 30 reps, get your breath back if you need to, and we'll move into our next warm-up exercise, which is ham spines. Okay, 30 ham spines for our hamstrings primarily, and partly for our spinal erectors in our lower back. But remember the technique sequence, okay? So start the lift by engaging your hamstrings first, okay? Hamstrings first, then lower back. Yeah, so to a degree, your lower back, your spinal erectors, they're going to be engaged throughout most of the movement. But make sure you don't neglect your hamstrings. You've got to carefully contract them in the stretch. And the other really important point that I always try to make is keep a straight back. Of course, your back is designed to bend, but you're going to neglect your hamstrings if your back is really bent in this. So chin up, look up, shoulders back, and really contract your spinal erectors, the muscles that run along your spine. And on top of that, take it easy. It's just a warm-up. If you feel you can start to increase your range of motion, then try to do that. If you don't feel ready yet, then no stress. Just pace yourself, listen to your body, and just do what you can do. Just take this time, this warm-up time, to prepare your body for the actual training session that's coming up. And we still have some time, about 6 minutes until we finish the warm-up and start the real session. This warm-up, the warm-up by itself, isn't going to do a whole lot for our goal. I mean, specifically for getting strong side splits. But it's going to help us prepare to train for that goal. So again, all I mean is that you don't need to go so hard yet. In fact, there's no harm at all starting gentle, but there is potential risk if you start too hard and too fast. Time for 30 elbows, knees. When you're in position, feet wide and elbows on knees, remember to really lean forward as much as you can to shift your weight load off your quads, okay? We're not trying to work your quads here. We want to warm up the adductors on the inside of your legs. Right, when you're in position, let's work through 30 reps. And like I said before, there's no harm and no risk at all if you do these easy. I mean, low intensity and gentle, and no loss either. Just contracting your adductors and then stretching them out, that's helping to specifically warm them up for the upcoming training session. We're almost done, so when you're ready, start to move into the next exercise, our side squats. Let's do our side squats now, 15 reps on each side. Take it easy to start with, and then you can increase your range and your depth and your width and intensity later when you feel you're ready for it. Just make sure you're able to stretch the real target muscles, your adductors on the inside of your legs, okay? So don't just bang these out, try not to waste the warm-up. Really do your best to engage your adductors. Obviously, as a squat, this exercise, you're going to engage your quads and glutes, but you can still stretch your adductors if you lean forward a bit. And just as important, you can contract your adductors if you push your heel through the floor, even if it's just a little push as you come up. Try it out and see what's best for your body. It might take some repositioning, it might take some experimenting, but this is one of our most important exercises that we'll use from the start, from the beginner section here, all the way through to the end. So even if it takes a little bit of extra practice, do your best to do it well. And when you've finished your 15 reps, let's move into the next warm-up exercise, our front leg ups. Let's do our front leg ups now that we're warming up for dynamic warm-up exercises. We have 20 for each leg and we're targeting hip flexors, quads, glutes, and hamstrings. So this one covers a lot. And to really make sure you're warming up your target muscles, make sure you're doing good technique. Control the leg raise, don't swing the leg raise. And to do that, make sure you initiate the lift with your hip flexors, not by swinging your leg with your torso. And also, make sure you try to keep a straight back. I say try because I know that our bodies are all different. Your range of motion will vary depending on the flexibility of your hip flexors and your hamstrings. But still, it's not really important how high you can get your foot, okay? It's more important that you keep your back straight so you don't load too much stress onto your lower back. Rather, keep your back straight and that way you get a good stretch for your hamstrings. And increase your range of motion when you feel you can. Just make sure your back is straight and you're specifically stretching your hamstrings. Next we have our last warm-up exercise, side leg raises. The target muscles here are the hip adductors on the inside of our legs again, okay? So take it easy, but make sure you can feel them being stretched, okay? Make sure you feel your hip adductors being stretched. And we're going for 20 reps on each leg, and just the same as front leg ups, we've got 1:30 to complete the exercise. So give yourself about 45 seconds for each leg. The principle for side leg ups is very similar to front leg ups. So you really want to work at raising the leg with a controlled movement rather than making it swing. Do your best to think about engaging the hip abductors, the muscles on the side of your legs, the outside of your legs. Engage them to lift the leg rather than using your body to swing the leg. And then the other point is to do your best to raise your leg in a straight line. So you line up your head, shoulders, hips, and heel all along a straight line. Even if it means you can't get your leg up as high, that's not important now. It's just a warm-up and you really need to use the warm-up for its real purpose, to target the hip adductors on the inside of your legs. Okay, keep it up. We've almost completed the warm-up. When you've finished your 20 reps on both legs, you can start to get ready for the actual stretching exercises, starting with full side splits. Okay, let's start to move into our first stretching exercise for the session, the full side splits, 15 reps. This is the last session for the week, so really do your best to focus on excellent technique. So that means you need to make sure you're stretching the target muscle, okay? Not just, stretching your leg. And then when you do stretch your target muscle, you need to contract the target muscle. Even if it's just a light contraction, that's fine. You'll get better as you progress through the program. Now let's apply correct technique as we work through the full side splits. Target muscles are our hip adductors on the inside of our legs and hips. Stretch them out as far as you can without pain and then contract them. And you can contract them by pushing your heels through the floor or even by just leaning back a bit to shift your body weight off your hands and instead onto your legs. Stay in the stretch as you count your contractions, okay? Don't worry about what your other muscles are doing, even if they're trembling or shaking a bit. That's okay. Okay, let's do our kneeling adductor stretch now. 15 reps on both sides, targeting our adductors again. When you're in position and you feel that stretch in your adductors, hold the stretch. Make sure you stay in the stretch as you contract your adductors. It's okay if the contraction causes a reduction in the stretch. That's fine because it still relates to the actual way that we move in and out and through our maximum range of motion, which is what will give us that practical functional flexibility. Now to really hit this stretch in the exercise, it can really help to turn your rear knee out and turn your hips out wider too. So it's like a long, wide kneeling lunge. That way you'll really open up your hips and stretch out your adductors on the inside of your leg instead of your hip flexors on the front of your leg. Kneel as deep or as long as you need. Just make sure you feel a stretch in the adductors of your rear leg. And then when you have that stretch, you can then contract your adductors in your rear leg by pulling your rear knee back towards your hips. really try not to use your quads or your hip flexors because they're not the target muscle of this exercise. Okay, you really need to focus on the adductors of your rear leg. Pull them in and make them contract in the stretch. Even if it's a light contraction, that's fine. Let's start our set of elevated hamstring stretches. 15 reps for both legs, and we're targeting our hamstrings here. When you've got your leg up on your stool or chair, don't focus on how far you can reach forward in the stretch. Obviously, you'll be able to reach forward if you just bend your spine, but we don't want that. It's usually not dangerous to bend your spine. Obviously, your spine was designed to bend, so no stress. But I'm not so much making a safety point. I'm really saying that you need to remember to focus your attention on your hamstrings. Keep your back straight when you lean forward, and when you lean forward, try to lean from your hips rather than your back. That'll help get that stretch in your hamstrings. And then when your hamstrings are stretched out, make them contract. Moving your heel through the stool can really help that. But try to make it like you're pulling the stool towards your hips, because that's mechanically the way you'll engage your hamstrings. If you try to push your heel straight down through a locked leg, that'll engage your glutes more. Okay, so again, back straight, stretch your hamstrings, and then contract your hamstrings. Stretch, contract, stretch, contract. Okay, side squats. We've got 15 reps for both sides, and our target muscles are our adductors, the muscles on the inside of our thighs and hips. If you want to stretch your adductors more, it can help to lean forward a bit, like forward over the front of your hips. Just be careful of your balance. Now that should really help you stretch your adductors, but you also really want to contract your adductors, and you can do that by trying to push your heel through the floor as you come up out of your squat. Obviously, a lot of the work's going to be done by your quads, but do your best to still engage your adductors, even if it's just a bit. You'll still be training your adductors to be strong at their maximum range of motion. Another thing is, really don't just bang these out. If you just race through these sessions and completely miss the target muscle of each stretching exercise, well, then you're kind of just doing an odd-looking body weight workout. And more than that, you probably won't achieve our goal of strong side splits, okay? You really need to be conscious and aware of your training, okay? You're making your reps intelligent reps, okay? So that's reps that you're aware of doing, reps that you pretty much know will take you to your goal of strong side splits. And last exercise for this cycle, seated adductor stretch. And we have 15 reps targeting our adductors on the inside of our legs. When you're seated with your knees wide, you can use your abductors to pull your knees down and wide. And then when you're in the stretch, when your adductors on the inside are stretched, use the same muscles to contract. So use your stretched adductors to contract. And that would do 1 rep. So just continue carefully all the way up to 15 reps. Okay, we're coming up to the second cycle of exercises now, so start to move into the first exercise again, the full side splits, when you're ready. We have 15 reps targeting our adductors. Just make sure you really do stretch and contract those adductors, okay? Let's go. Okay, I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, stretch your adductors. 4, 5, 6. Remember to contract your adductors. 7, 8, 9, 10. Focus on good technique. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, done. Great work completing your second set of full side splits. Take your time to move safely out of this stretch and into the next stretch, which is the kneeling adductor stretch. Kneeling adductors again, and we have 15 reps for both legs, targeting our adductors. Remember the stretch contract technique as we work through these. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, one more, 15. Excellent work with the first leg. Let's finish the other leg now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, all done for that set. Great work. Let's take the time to ease out of this stretch and move into the next stretch, standing hamstrings. Okay, elevated hamstring stretch. This is another exercise that we have to work both legs, 15 reps each, targeting our hamstrings. Just make sure you contract the stretch. Okay, let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, past halfway, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, one more, 15. Great job. Let's change over legs now and finish the set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halfway, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, one more, and 15. Great work finishing your elevated hamstrings. Let's use this time to get ready for our next stretching exercise, the side squats. Okay, feet wide for side squats now. We've got 15 reps for both sides and we're targeting our adductors. Keep that in mind so you really try your best to stretch and contract your adductors as we work through the set. Okay, 1, 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 3, engage your adductors, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, contract your adductors, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, extend the stretch if you can, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, last one coming up, 15, and 15. Okay, great work with your side squats. Take your time to ease out of the position and then start to get ready for the next exercise, the seated adductor stretch. Okay, 15 reps of our seated adductor stretch, and our target muscle here is our adductor group. Okay, let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Excellent work finishing the set of seated adductor stretches and the second cycle of exercises. Try to use this time to move into the next exercise, the full side splits, as we start our final cycle of exercises. Okay, I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, stretch your adductors, 4, 5, 6, remember to contract your adductors, 7, 8, 9, 10, focus on good technique, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, great work completing your third and final set of full side splits. Move into the next exercise when you feel comfortable, and the next one is the kneeling adductor stretch. Kneeling adductors again, and we have 15 reps for both legs, targeting our adductors. Remember the stretch contract technique as we work through these. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, one more, 15. Excellent work with the first leg. Let's finish the other leg now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, all done for that set. Great work. Let's take the time to ease out of this stretch and move into the next stretch, standing hamstrings. Okay, elevated hamstring stretch. This is another exercise that we have to work both legs, 15 reps each, targeting our hamstrings. Just make sure you contract the stretch. Okay, let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, past halfway, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, one more, 15. Great job. Let's change over legs now and finish the set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halfway, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, one more, and 15. Done. Great work finishing your ham spines. Let's use this time to get ready for our next stretching exercise, the side squats. Okay, feet wide for side squats now. We've got 15 reps for both sides and we're targeting our adductors. Keep that in mind so you really try your best to stretch and contract your adductors as we work through the set. Okay, 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 3. Engage your adductors. 4, 5, 6, 6. Contract your adductors. 7, 8, 9, 10. Extend the stretch if you can. 11, 12, 13, 14. Last one coming up. 15 and 15. Okay, great work with your side squats. Take your time to ease out of the position and then start to get ready for the next exercise, the seated adductor stretch. Okay, 15 reps of our seated adductor stretch, and our target muscle here is our adductor grip. Okay, let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Okay, that's session number 6 out of 30, done. Great work for making it through. As always, I hope you're feeling great and I hope you're feeling a little bit stronger and a little bit more flexible. I've got another tip for you today and well, actually, it's more encouragement to stay disciplined. Okay, remain disciplined enough to complete this program and achieve your goal. Achieve strong side splits and a natural flexibility that you can apply to real life, right? Because in that way, this training is really just a means to an end, a means to your actual flexibility goal. And on top of that, your flexibility goal is really just a means to another higher goal. Maybe you want more speed or power, precision in your martial arts kicking, or fluid control in your dancing, or more control throughout your range of motion in yoga or gymnastics. And even that goal in turn leads to another higher goal, which is maybe security or pleasure or whatever other reason you really train for. And if you can keep that sort of chain of goals in mind, then that should really help you keep consistently returning to the program and continue with your training. Okay, so you pretty much have everything else on your side. You've made an objective record of your benchmark as a start, you've got clear goals as an end, and you've got a great program all through the middle. So in that way, it's a very clear course with a very clear start, middle, and end. All you need to do is stay disciplined and choose to work through it 3 times a week, and you're set. Okay, so as always, do let me know how you found today's session and if you have any questions. And if you want to work on more than strong side splits, make sure you subscribe to this channel and check out the other 10,000 method progressive training videos. And then when you come back after the weekend to follow the next new video in the series, we'll work through the final week of the beginner section and we'll add another rep to each exercise and continue training for strong side splits. Until then, stay disciplined with your training.